Alan!
Oh, hi, Miss. I'm sorry. I'm too stressed to be scared right now.
You usually love getting scared.
Right, but I need a root canal, and I don't know how I'm gonna fit it.
Ooh, root canal!
Yeah, stop with the fear-mongering. It's not the procedure, it's financing that's frightening.
Ooh, financing!
Insurance last. Visit SmileGeneration.com to find and afford treatment and save 20 to 50% with Smile Generation Dental Plan today.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Get ready to ace your back-to-school meals with Hatfield. From breakfast to dinner, variety of marinated pork tenderloins, ham steaks, ground pork, sauce, and bacon. Ensure that every meal is packed with flavor. Quick mornings and quick dinners on the go. Make Hatfield pork the star of your back-to-school menus. And earn top marks from your whole family. Visit simplyhat.com for recipes and pictures near you. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th at Sawyer Point Park in Cincinnati, Ohio. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message, help us, and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Cincinnati.
Come play for the fun of it, come compete for prize money, but sign up now because it'll sell out. Register for the 1010 Wins Pickleball Tournament present Nissan at 1010wins.com/pickleball.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 70 degrees at 10:20. I'm Kathleen Marple-Kalb, and here's what's happening. Bad night in the Bronx. Two shooting brother apparently was shot by a dog walker. Arrested last month's double fatal wrong-way crash on the Henry Hudson. It's a 17-year-old boy. Police in Brooklyn leaves a triple murder suspect dead. Officers say he came at him with a knife. New effort to identify one of the Gilgo Beach victims. Police are set to release a rendering of his face. Subway ride back in time. MTA brings out the old Brightliners for their 60th anniversary. Mets and Yanks both win. 10-10 Wins AccuWeather sunny and nice, the high 83. Winds news time 10:21. Traffic and transit now. Here's Andre Farrow.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. I got some better news at the inbound George Washington Bridge. They picked up the cones, but the problem is the residuals are still out there as it starts to flush and you finally get across to the New York side. You're still going to need a lot of time, at least 40 minutes. Eastbound 46 and the southbound Palisades also very busy. Now, the outbound side, they still have to pick up the cones, so you're looking at 3 lanes still towards New Jersey. Delays that go all the way back to Castle Hill Avenue. No thank you. Plus, we have a crash on the westbound Bruckner right around Castle Hill Avenue, which is also causing some eastbound rubbernecking delays. But then you have more delays passing East Tremont Avenue trying to get up towards Country Club Road on the Bruckner and northbound 95. So to avoid that delay, do not get committed to that. And especially if you're using the Throgs Neck Bridge, entering the Bronx, you want to go right to the service road and get delayed by Country Club Road. You'll thank me later. Now, if you're using the Whitestone Bridge heading into Queens, that is backed up as well. Southbound Harlem River Drive delays are out there. Outbound Lincoln, outbound Holland. I would go with the outbound Holland, but here's the problem. 139 is very busy. Westbound through Jersey City, you do have that Pulaski Skyway closure all weekend, so go with the Newark Bay Extension or truck routes 1 and 9. We're slow on the northbound FDR by the 59th Street Bridge from 23rd Street up to that area because of road work, and the westbound BQE delays are out there because of one lane squeezing by over by the Brooklyn Bridge. Try to avoid that delay as well. The report was sponsored by the Bronx's only Honda dealer, Bronx Honda on East Tremont. Fall in love with Honda with unbeatable deals at Bronx Honda, your trusted dealer since 1975. For a limited time offer, receive $500 off any Honda or pre-owned vehicle. Leaf through our selection at Bronx Honda on East Tremont or visit bronxhonda.com to experience autumn savings. Next report, 10:31. Andre Farrow, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
A violent night in the Bronx with a deadly shooting at a weird one within hours and blocks of each other. The fatal shooting happened at 1911 Anthony Avenue. Police say a 24-year-old man was shot several times in the back, pronounced dead at the hospital. No arrests so far and no other details on the victim or suspect. There are, though, some unusual details on the suspect in the second non-fatal shooting. This one happened just after midnight at East 180th and Grand Concourse in Morris Heights. A 42-year-old man was standing inside a bodega when walking past with a dog, just opened fire on him. Victim grazed in the head, stable at the hospital. Suspect walked off with that dog, and police are still looking for him. The interim NYPD commissioner has been sworn in.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties.
And I will faithfully discharge the duties.
Of the position of.
Of the position of.
Interim Police Commissioner.
Interim Police Commissioner.
Of the City of New York.
Of the City of New York.
The sound as Tom Donlan took office yesterday. Commissioner Edward Caban's resignation went into effect then. He stepped down days after federal agents took his electronic devices in a probe of possible corruption by people close to him. Caban has denied wrongdoing, that he's not a target of the probe. Donlan, who's from the Bronx, comes from outside the NYPD with a 30-year career in the FBI, as well as serving as New York State's head of Homeland Security. Police have arrested last month's deadly wrong-way crash on the Henry Hudson. This happened in the wee hours of August 24th. Police say the boy, whose name has not been released because of his age, was blasting down the wrong side of the road when he slammed his pickup into a car. Both men in the car, Kirk Walker and Robert McLaurin, died. Walker was said to be married the next day. Police say the young driver ran away from the scene, leaving not only the two victims, but also an injured passenger of his own. Authorities, even Mayor Adams, offered a reward for their arrest. The driver was taken in yesterday. 17-year-old is charged with vehicular manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide, and more. No word on court dates so far. Winds News Time 10:20.
You've heard a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/stream to download America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Opt-in required. Wager requirements apply. Bonuses awarded as non-withdrawable bonus bets, profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including bonus expiration. See terms and conditions at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike Grill, a vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pumpkin patches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals filled with the beverages of the season. Your fall venture starts at indiana.com/fall.
I'm smacked.
Why's that?
My dentist said I need a root canal, and then he said it's going to cost so much less than I thought.
No way, I'm smacked.
Smile Generation Dental Plan. Sign up same day and get 20 to 50% off most dental treatments.
That's awesome. One question. What exactly does gobsmacked mean?
No insurance, no problem. And save 150% with Smile Generation Dental Plan today.
Winds News Time 10:26. Now Money Watch.
Retailers planning for the holiday shopping season take note. Inflation-weary consumers are being extra choosy about where their dollars are going.
They're employed, wages are growing, but they are being choiceful. And part of the reason why they're being choiceful is because there has been a lot of inflation over the last couple of years.
Goldman Sachs Managing Director Kate McShane.
Part of what we saw during the pandemic was a really heightened demand for goods, things, apparel, things like that, consumer electronics. And then as soon as the world opened up, you went back to services. We haven't quite seen that pivot back to discretionary goods.
She says this helps to explain why some retailers are performing better than others.
It was only on Target and Walmart's conference calls that they have just seen some stabilization in goods. So it's that choicefulness that's happening at the higher end as well, because they're choosing between services and goods.
We'll get a new snapshot of spending in the August retail sales numbers this coming week. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Gina Cervetti for 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Now this message, don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com. Wins News Time.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in these uncertain economic times, you struggle to guard your life's work against unexpected challenges. But can it withstand the sudden disruption of a divorce? When your hard-earned work is at risk, count on our experience and advocacy in handling these matters at Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Serpentini Chevrolet is Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. With over 1,500 new and used vehicles in 6 convenient locations, we are the home for all your sales, service, and collision repair needs. Go to Serpentini.com to find the location nearest you. Together, let's drive.
Get ready to ace your back-school meals with Hatfield. From breakfast to dinner, Hatfield's variety of marinated pork tenderloins, ham steaks, ground pork, sausage, and bacon ensure that every meal is packed with flavor. Perfect for busy mornings and quick dinners on the go. Make Hatfield pork the star of your back-to-school menus and earn top marks from your whole family. Visit Hatfield recipes and retail locations near you. Find your fur with Hatfield.
Ohio football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you'll get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
Sight is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th at Point Park in City, Ohio. Spread awareness and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide. Register today at afsp.org/Cincinnati.
It's 70 degrees right now in City. AccuWeather says we're going up to 83 today in Midtown. Mostly sunny, nice, warm this afternoon. How long does it stay that way? Well, tomorrow looks pretty good as well. The same kind of low clouds and fog early that we had today. Then a pleasant and sunny day, a high of 78. More sun than clouds on Monday as well. Then things get a little interesting. You'll want to stay with 10-10 winds for the latest as we get closer to the mark. 70 degrees right now, going to 83 in Midtown. Good morning. I'm Kathleen Marple-Kalb. Winds News Time, 10:30.
Good morning. I'm Brian Britton. Police shot and killed a man wanted for 3 murders after he charged at the officers while holding a knife. It all went down in Flatbush.
Police say they were serving a warrant that had been open since 2022 for a homicide, searching for Vilmon John Baptiste. They tried to tase him as he hid in his bathtub with a knife.
The male jumped out of the tub and advanced on officers, and at least 3 officers fired their weapons.
Police also say he was a suspect and person of interest in a double homicide dating back to this July,
where a female, 54 years old, and a male, 24 years old, was stabbed to death. He begins to date older women, and then they allow him to reside in his house to use narcotics. The relationship was romantic in nature.
Police also tell us one officer had a bottle thrown at him at the scene and was taken to the hospital, along with the other officers involved in this shooting. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in Flatbush.
Winds News Time, 10:31. Time for traffic and transit. Here is Andre Farrow.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound George Washington Bridge, yes, they picked up the 3 cones, the 3 lanes of cones, but again, you have to give it some time to flush. So now you're starting to at least move the wheels, but you're not just sitting there at least. But again, it's still going to cost you about 40 minutes to try to get to the New York side. Eastbound 46, southbound Palisades is all backed up as well. If you're traveling outbound at the George Washington Bridge, they haven't picked up the cones yet, so you're dealing with delays that go all the way back to White Plains Road on the westbound Cross Bronx. It's not a good ride on the eastbound Bruckner as well, heading past East Tremont Avenue, heading up towards Country Club Road. They knocked out that left lane again for weekend road work, and it's not fun. It's going to take a lot of time. Southbound 95 in Stamford is busy over by the Connecticut Turnpike and Exit 8. And if you're using the Mario Cuomo Tappan Zee Bridge into Rockland County, and some trucks just getting tired of waiting on the Cross Bronx, they went up there and used that instead, and you're dealing with at least a 15-minute delay to try to get to the Rockland side. 25 minutes on both sides of the Lincoln. The outbound Holland will do you better, but look out for more delays on the westbound side of 139. 49. You have the Pulaski Skyway closed in both directions all weekend. So you have to use the Newark Bay Extension or truck routes 1 and 9, and that's a process. So if you're using the southbound turnpike right around interchange 13, that's also slow. And westbound, if you're traveling on 280 approaching 21 through Newark, that is also very busy. Look out for big delays in Queens. The long-term road work slowing you down over by the Grand Central Parkway near the Clearview. Same deal with the eastbound LIE. Passing the Clearview is going to be slow. Southbound on the Cross Island Parkway, you're very busy heading down towards Northern Boulevard. This report was sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Traffic and transit on the ones, breaking traffic alerts whenever they happen. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. I love seeing all that sunshine. For a full weekend, it looks like we get it both days, Bill Dager.
Yeah, both days, Brian, and a bonus day on Monday as we go back to work and school. A good amount of sunshine then as we start a new week, but then things start to go downhill a little bit. We'll talk about that here in a second, but let's not gloss over the fact that today will be a beautiful one out there. Mostly sunny, a warm afternoon as we go up to 83. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Some low clouds and fog could develop late. That's similar to what we saw earlier this morning, low 66. After that, tomorrow looks mostly sunny, a high of 78. Monday, dry, sunshine, a few clouds, high 78 again. Here comes a storm approaching for the middle of the week. Tuesday, clouds increase, high 78. Bring us a good chance of rain then Tuesday night into Wednesday. But right now, 73. It's sunny, relative humidity 68%. Repeating the current temperature, it's 73, going up to 83 today in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Bill Dager on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
All right, Bill, thank you. Police and forensic scientists are working on facial reconstruction of the body of a man found in Gilgo Beach off Ocean Parkway back in 2011. New technology allows them to get a better look at what this man would have looked like. The man's body, only described as between the ages of 17 through 23, with short cropped hair, was found dressed in women's clothing. At this point, it's unclear if this body is related to the murders of the sex workers that were found in the same area. The Gilgo Beach Task Force, though, will publish these reconstructed pictures Monday in hopes that someone will remember a person who looked like this guy back at the time of his death. Rex Hewerman has not been accused in this man's death, but of course he is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder and 6 counts of second-degree murder in the slayings of 6 women whose bodies were all found in that area. He has pleaded not guilty. Nostalgic fans of the New York City subway, today is your day. The Brightliner back on the tracks today.
If they have a ticket for this ride, they will see a 6-car train of Brightliner cars. And inside each car are advertisements that people would have seen during the service life of this train, which is 57 years. Each car has a set of maps from a different era in the time that the cars ran in, so that's a little surprise.
Just saying there better be a Dr. Zizmore ad on the cars there. Jody Shapiro, curator of the New York Transit Museum. Brightliners were the first cars for the subway made of stainless steel. They went into service in September of 1964. The cars are running on the Q line today. They're going from 96th Street down to Coney Island. The next run will be at 2 p.m. You do need a special ticket for this. You can get those at the Transit Museum. The feds were after him for decades, and finally a Mexican drug lord has been arrested. He was in federal court in Brooklyn Friday.
This is the leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel, who prosecutors call one of the world's most notorious and dangerous drug traffickers, and one that goes after his own people if they cooperate with the government. Ishmael Zambada, known as El Mayo, pleaded not guilty to several drug charges and the murder of his own nephew. Zambada says he was kidnapped by El Chapo's son in Mexico and flown to Texas, where he was taken into custody in July. His attorney says there will be no deal with the government.
Do you expect this will go to trial?
Convicted, the 76-year-old faces a minimum of life in prison. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM at Brooklyn Federal Court.
Taylor Swift with a brand new remix. That story comes next in 1010 Wins Entertainment.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pumpkin patches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Hey, Chris. Jeez. What happened to your face?
Oh, I broke a tooth and my dentist can't see me for another week.
Ow. My guy has an opening tomorrow. just got you scheduled.
Tomorrow? You a tooth fairy or something?
No, I just use Smile Generate. They connect you trusted and have availability for emergencies, which, based on your face, I'd say that's an emergency.
Visit SmileGeneration.com to find a dentist and restore your smile with confidence unleashed.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Get ready to ace your back-to-school meals with Hatfield. From breakfast to dinner, Hatfield's variety of marinated pork tenderloins, ham steaks, ground pork, sausage, and bacon will ensure that every meal is packed with flavor. Perfect for busy mornings and quick dinners.
We love to your generation. Carry on the tune. This is your kingdom. Protected Fuse Mutual of Omaha. Protect your kingdom.
Finance leaders, do your arms hurt? It's hard getting pulled in two different directions every day. Somehow you're supposed to cut costs and drive growth. Not easy. It can be if you use Brex. Brex is the only corporate card and AI-powered spend platform that helps you control spend before it happens. Brex also automates busy work and gives you real-time visibility, so you have more time for strategic work. Ready to save and grow? Get Brex, the platform that helps you make every dollar count. Visit brex.com/grow.
Hey, it's Mo Egger with my guy, John from Window World. John, I want to talk about what Window World could do for homeowners and their home energy bills, both in the summer and the winter. But I've heard of this. I know what to ask you. A Windows Energy Star rating. What is it?
Energy Star ratings are government ratings that identify the efficiency of the window to make your home the most energy efficient, keeping the hot air out in the summer, keeping the warm air in the wintertime.
See what the folks at Window World could do for your home energy bill at windowworldcincinnati.com.
Police Commissioner Edward Caban, who has now stepped down, and his brother are being investigated for a probe on NYPD's nightlife enforcement. You got the BQE, just a nightmare. It's going to be, right now it is. It will be later. It will be tonight. It will be tomorrow. Through the entire weekend, they've got a weekend closure for all but one lane. Between Adams Street and Washington Street, only one lane open. Crews are doing installation of brand new equipment. It is set to reopen fully for the Monday morning commute at 5 a.m. I know that's no use to you not right now, but if you're headed that way, maybe you can avoid it. Andre Farrow's got traffic and Transit coming up in just a bit, so stay with us here, of course, at 1010 Wins. Right now, Wins News Time, 10:45. Mark Renee is back with sports.
Well, Brian Aaron Judge's go-ahead grand slam in the 7th inning last night at the stadium snapped the longest home run drought of his career.
It's just another day. I really don't focus on hitting homers, don't focus on any of that. I got a job to do, but 16 games, I guess, is that a lot or is that not? I don't know. It's the most? Probably longer in my career, so we'll definitely break that.
Yankee fans hoping that doesn't happen soon. Yanks this afternoon try to get 4 straight wins, starting their ace Garrett Cole just after 1 o'clock against the Boston Red Sox. Meantime, the Mets have a 4 o'clock date in Philly where Luis Severino gets the ball after last night's 11-3 win that featured 3 3-run homers. And Carlos Mendoza's club making it 12 wins their last 14 games.
We're making big plays when we need to. We're getting hits when we need to. There are ways we continue to get that done, running the bases, making plays, executing pitches. So we're playing really good baseball right now, and we need to continue to do that.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Francisco Lindor had to leave in the 7th inning with a sore back, and Brandon Nimmo talked about that on Odyssey Mets Radio.
Hopefully it's just a little thing popping up, and obviously he's heartbeat of our team, and we want to find for him to take care of himself because we need him.
Luis Acuna heads up the minor leagues just in case Lindor can't go and has to miss his first game all season. College football today among the early highlights. 4th-ranked Alabama plays at Wisconsin. Locally, it'll be LIU home for Lehigh. Fordham rolls out the welcome mat for Stony Brook, and Wagner's on the road down at Delaware State. Mark Renee, 1010 Wins Sports on 92.3 FM.
All right, Mark, thank you. Wins News Time, 10:47. President Biden speaking out about the false statements former President Donald Trump made during the debate about Haitian immigrants and pets.
I want to take a moment to say something like somebody American like Karine, as you point out, a proud Haitian American. Community is under attack in our country right now. It's wrong. There's no place in America. This has to stop. What he's doing. It has to stop.
Now, that Karine he mentions, that is White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. The Ohio town of Springfield thrust into a political firestorm by Trump's claims. For the 2nd day in a row, the FBI, the school, town officials were forced to deal with multiple threats. The schools were closed Thursday and Friday as a result of bomb threats. Vice President Kamala Harris sitting down for her first solo interview campaigning in Pennsylvania. She says the concerns about her taking away people's guns is not on par with who she is. She says she is a gun owner. She doesn't want to take away anyone's guns, but she does believe a ban on assault-style weapons is necessary and consistent with the Second Amendment. The Biden administration cracking down on cheap products sold out of China on websites like Shein and Temu. The White House says these companies are using a tax loophole to avoid paying tariffs. Says the increase in these small packages being shipped, there's just so many of them, makes it harder for authorities to find illegal shipping of drugs like fentanyl in the mail. Over the past few years, the numbers of small packages from these mail-order Chinese companies have jumped from about 140 million to over 1 billion. The Biden administration proposing a new rule that would include new standards for small individual shipments coming from China. President Biden and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House Friday night talking about how far Western allies might be willing to go to help Ukraine defend itself. All of this as the White House is putting new sanctions on Russian state media, RT.
Washington had already sanctioned RT for working to spread Kremlin propaganda, but Secretary of State Antony Blinken's now accusing the outlet of going far beyond that.
Functioning like a de facto arm of Russia's intelligence apparatus.
Blinken says RT ran fundraising campaigns to outfit Russian troops in Ukraine.
This includes sniper rifles, suppressors, body armor, night vision equipment, drones.
And he says the U.S. will keep exposing the truth.
It's shining a bright light on what the Kremlin is trying to do under cover dark.
Sagar Magani at the White House.
With the traffic, transit, and the all-important AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Good weekend in there. A lot of sunshine. Stick around.
Find your fabulous fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pumpkin patches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Alan!
Oh, hi, Mr. Ghost. I'm sorry, I'm too stressed to be scared right now.
You usually love getting scared.
Right, root canal, and I don't know how I'm gonna afford it.
Ooh, root canal!
Yeah, stop with the fear-mongering. It's not the procedure, it's the financing's frightening.
Ooh, financing!
No insurance? Relax. Visit SmileGeneration.com to find a dentist, afford treatment, and save 20 to 50% with Smile Generation Dental Plan today.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner in these uncertain economic times, you struggle to guard your life's work against unexpected challenges. But can it withstand the sudden disruption of a divorce? When your hard-earned work is at risk, count on our experience and advocacy in handling these matters at Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Get the Ace your back-to-school meals with Hatfield. For breakfast to dinner, a variety of marinated pork tenderloins, ham steaks, pork, sausage, and bacon will ensure that every meal is packed with flavor. Pick for busy mornings, quick dinners on the go. Make Hatfield Pork the star of your back-to-school news and earn top marks from your whole fleet. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and real locations near you. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
Ohio football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you'll get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
Wins News Time, 10:51. Time for traffic and transit. Andre Farrow.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The inbound Lincoln and Holland, well, you're going to need some time at the inbound Lincoln. 495 is stacked up pretty nicely passing Kennedy Boulevard. So at least 25 minutes inbound, about 25 minutes outbound as well. Here's the deal with the Holland Tunnel. It's moving better than the Lincoln in and outbound, but you have the Pulaski Skyway closure, and 139 is very busy heading westbound, heading towards Tunnelly Avenue. So you have to use that extension or you're screwed 1 and 9 as a process to say the least. Now, using the inbound George, they picked up the cones on the upper level inbound, but it takes a while to flush. So you're dealing with at least a 35-minute delay, about 45 minutes on the outbound side. Try to avoid eastbound Tremont Avenue area of the Bruckner heading up towards Country Club Road. They knocked out the left lane again there, and it's causing a big delay. So if you're using the Throgs Neck into the Bronx, go right to the Service Road. Using the Whitestone into Queens, that is slow. Southbound Cross Island Parkway, you do have delays heading down towards Northern Boulevard, so go Clearview. And you have big delays on the eastbound Grand Central Parkway passing Alley Pond Park and the Clearview with that new traffic pattern and the long-term road work there. It's terrible. The eastbound LIE is very busy from Woodhaven Boulevard all the way to the Clearview as well. Northbound delays on the Cross Island Parkway heading up towards the UBS Arena, and very busy on the westbound BQE, obviously approaching the Brooklyn Bridge with just one lane squeezing by all weekend. No thank you. This report was sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Next update, 11:01.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of with us on Sunday, October 20th at Sawyer Point Park in Cincinnati, Ohio. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Cincinnati.
Near you. Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Looking good, feeling good out there. Let's get an update with meteorologist Bill Dager.
Yeah, we all have high pressure to thank for this beautiful weather for the next couple of days. Sunshine, fairly low humidity, nice and warm, going up to 83 for a high this afternoon. Good day to get outside. Tonight, cleared up, partly cloudy, low 66. And like we saw late last night and early this morning, could be some low clouds and fog into early tomorrow. And then later tomorrow, sunshine. Another beautiful day, maybe not quite as warm, high 78. For Monday, we stay dry, more sun than clouds, high 78 again. Then we turn our eyes to a storm that'll be moving into the Carolinas, the Mid-Atlantic, early this week. By Tuesday, the clouds begin to increase here, high 78. Rain could arrive by Tuesday night and continue through Wednesday. But right now, 73 and sunny, relative humidity 68%, repeating the current temperature at 73. We're going up to 83 today in town. Just built in your play station and 10 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now, today on September 14th,
as the 1960s commercial told us,
Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Eat them in the morning, eat them in the evening. Kellogg's Pop-Tarts.
And we've been enjoying them morning, noon, and night since they first appeared in a grocery store in Cleveland, Ohio 60 years ago today. There were 4 original flavors: strawberry, blueberry, brown sugar, cinnamon, and apple currant. There are now more than 24 Pop-Tarts. They got us 1967 and mascot milk of the creation Pop-Tarts was released back in May. $100
4, 3, 1 Pop-Tart.
Reckless waste
Fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through a vibrant fall foliage. Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Hey, Chris. Jeez. Have your face.
I broke a tooth and my dentist can't see me for another week.
I'll hook you up. My guy in opening tomorrow. Just got you scheduled.
Tomorrow? Are you the tooth fairy or something?
No, I just use Smile Generation. They connect you with trusted dentists that have availability, even for emergencies. Which, based on your face, I'd say that's emergency.
Visit SmileGeneration.com to find a dentist at your smile with confidence unleashed.
6 now, Bloomberg Money Watch.
Gen X is cranking up its retirement savings. In the second quarter, Americans between the ages of 44 and 59 ramped up IRA contributions to the highest level in 5 years, according to Fidelity.
We are starting to see for the first time the average balances for Gen Xers slightly rise above those of boomers.
Fidelity's Michael Shamrell says total contributions were up 30% from a year ago for Gen Xers, despite having kids in college, aging parents, and higher healthcare costs.
Gen Xers realize that they are getting closer to retirement age, so they are taking steps to really put aside as much as they can to be as well prepared for retirement when that time actually comes.
Still, Gen Xers have a long way to go. A Charles Schwab survey showed Gen X believes an average net worth of $873,000 is required to be comfortable. The average balance for a Gen Xer with a 401k at Fidelity was $182,000 in the second quarter. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Ed Corey for 1010 Wins on 92.3.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is more than just a process. It's a life change that can impact your future, finances, and relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that and you deserve a partner who works just hard to protect you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
Get ready to ace your back-to-school meals with Hatfield. From breakfast to dinner, Hatfield's variety of marinated pork tenderloins, ham steaks, ground pork, sausage, and bacon will ensure that every meal is packed with flavor. Perfect for busy mornings and quick dinners on the go. Make Hatfield pork the star of your back-to-school menus and earn top marks from your whole family. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes at retail locations near you. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
Ohio football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you'll get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Subject to eligibility requirements. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
WINS-FM and HD1 New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Wins News Time 10:59. 1010 Wins AccuWeather. What you see is what you get, and what you see is a whole lot of sunshine. A warm afternoon on the way with a high of 83. Some clouds, some fog tonight, just like last night. We'll see it through the overnight, low 66, and then tomorrow the fog burns off, and we have another nice day on the way for Sunday. Pleasant day, sunshine most of the time. A little bit cooler with a high of 78. Monday looks good too. You go back to work, kids go back to school. Dry, more sun than clouds on Monday, with a high of 78. 73 right now. We are today going up to 83. More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Colby McCaskill is our service aide. Swetina Kakar is at the editor's desk. I'm Brian Britton.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. 72 degrees at 11 o'clock. I'm Kathleen Marple-Kalb, and here's what's happening. 2 shootings within hours in blocks in the Bronx, one fatal, one apparently by a dog walker. New City Hall revelation today. Report that a firm doing business with the city got to sit down with the Education Commission after hiring his work. It's just what we need for the weekend. They're just Staten Island, the BQE down the lane construction traffic in seconds. Sure looks like campaign season. Former President Trump on leads in Vegas. Aerosmith's the battleground today. Never mind changing the guard. It's time to change things. Peter Taylor's Bears and first.
Gonna shop like a billionaire.
Mets and Yanks both win. 10-10 wins AccuWeather. Sunny, nice with a high of 83. Winds use time 11:01. Traffic and transit now. Here's Andre Farrow.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Yeah, they picked up the cones at the inbound George Washington Bridge on Double. The wheels are starting to move at least, but it's still bad. At least a 40-minute delay trying to get to the near side. Eastbound 46, southbound Palisade also back up. You have a big delay on the outside as you're taking up the cones. Getting back to New Jersey, here days that go back to Brooklyn Parkway. Northbound Harlem River Drive, north of the McCombs Dam Bridge, and the northbound West Side Highway from about 150th Street up to the George is also slow. You have delays on the southbound Harlem River Drive passing the Triborough. The Triborough Bridge Manhattan span heading towards the Harlem River Drive is slow, and the Whitestone Bridge Queensbound is busy. The Throgs Neck is the best, but here's the deal. If you're going to use the Throgs Neck into the Bronx, go right to the service road because of the construction. Left lane knocked out over by Country Club Road. Delays are ridiculous. Eastbound over by Tremont Avenue and the Bruckner, no thank you. The northbound Hutch is slow, heading up towards the bridge as well. Big Queens, eastbound, westbound LI, Queen Way, and Millard, and on the southbound Cross Island is stacked, heading down towards Northern Boulevard due to road work. So go with the clear. That'd be a better option. Look out for volume on the eastbound side of the Southern State Parkway right around Eagle Avenue. Using the inbound Lincoln, that's going to be about 40 minutes. The Holland Tunnel, well, it's better, but here's the problem. If you're heading towards New Jersey, look out for the delays because of the Pulaski Skyway closure, which is out there all weekend, so you have to go with the Newark Bay Extension or truck routes 1 and 9. This report was sponsored by The Roommate. All right, next report, 11:11. 10-10 wins on 92.3 FM.
Only 4.
Violent night in the Bronx, a deadly shooting and a weird one within hours and blocks. The fatal shooting happened at 1911 Anthony Avenue. Police say a 24-year-old man was shot several times in the back, pronounced dead at the hospital. No arrests so far and no other details on the victim or suspect. We also have some unusual details on the suspect in the second, non-fatal shooting. This one happened just after midnight at East 180th Street and Grand Concourse in Morris Heights. A 42-year-old man was standing inside a bodega when a guy walking past with a dog just opened fire. The victim was grazed in the head. He's now stable at the hospital. The suspect just walked off with his dog, and police are still looking for him. New report, new questions about Education Chancellor David Banks today. The Daily News reporting the head of the Utah 21st Cent Ed, who's hoped to do business with the C, got a private meeting with the Chancellor within weeks of hiring his consultant with their Terrence. And then the Daily News says that since that meeting, the company's gotten more than $1.4 million in business from the BOE. Yesterday, before this latest report, Chancellor Banks was asked about the continuing federal investigation, and at a news conference, he said he's not a target.
Just like any other family member, I love my brothers. I love my family, as I'm sure you love your brothers and your sisters and your family. And nobody wants to see any family member going through stuff or having your name in the papers for all kinds of issues.
No one's been accused of wrongdoing, and the extent of the investigation is unclear. Well, as you've been hearing in 1010 Wins traffic, it is not a fun weekend on the BQE. A stretch of the road in downtown Brooklyn is down to one lane for the weekend and next weekend as well. Area runs from Adams Street to Washington Street, 1 a.m. Saturday to 5 a.m. Monday. Next week only, there'll be another closing too. The entrance ramp to the Staten Island side will be shuttered. DOT says the whole thing is for the installation of weigh-in-motion equipment. Of course, stay with 1010 Wins for traffic and transit on the ones. A tragedy in the Bronx. A 10-year-old girl was killed in a fall from her roof of her apartment building.
What led to this is still a mystery. Detectives have been taking a look at the area where the girl fell. Police say she fell from the roof.
Never on the roof. I don't play that. Never on the roof.
Says Russia Sims, whose nieces come to visit her here. Detectives were also seen on the fire escapes. Antoinette Talamoni lives on the first floor and says the roof is usually off limits.
And it could have been prevented. The alarms are not working.
She's complained to the super and called 311.
Just having, kids with access to places they're not supposed to be.
I haven't been able to reach building management for comment. Mac Rosenberg's 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Belmont, the Bronx.
It is 73 degrees right now in the city. AccuWeather says we're going up to a very nice 83 today in Midtown. Winds news time 11:06 out to the.
Find your fabulous fall fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pumpkin patches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Alan! Oh, hi, Mr. Ghost. I'm sorry. Who's stressed to be scared right now?
You usually love getting scared.
Right, but I need a root canal, and I don't know how I'm gonna afford it.
Oh, root canal!
Yeah, stop it. It's not the procedure, it's the financing that's frightening.
Oh, financing!
No insurance? Relax. Visit SmileGeneration.com to find a dentist, afford treatment, and save 20 to 50% with Smile Generation Dental Plan today.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. As a business owner, it's your job to anticipate constant market changes. But what do you do in the event of a divorce? Years of hard work building a business are on the line. This is not business as usual. You need an experienced partner you can count on for help. We're Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio or Kentucky attorneys. 513-823-2020. Office in Florence, Kentucky. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1310, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Rick Julius. Licensed in Pennsylvania only.
It was another hot day on the campaign trail yesterday. Former President Trump held an angry news conference at his Los Angeles area golf club, then rallied at Las Vegas and returned to the false claims of migrants attacking pets in Ohio.
I'm angry about illegal Haitian migrants taking over Springfield, Ohio. You see that mess, don't you?
Springfield, Ohio native and singer-songwriter John Legend took to Instagram to call for grace for, as he put it, our Haitian brothers and sisters.
Nobody's eating cats. Nobody's eating dogs. We all just want to live and flourish and raise our families in a healthy and safe environment. How about we love one another?
Meantime, Vice President Harris was in Pennsylvania visiting businesses in Johnstown and reminding her supporters to keep perspective.
Ours will be a tight race until the very end. We are the underdog. We are the underdog. Let's remember that and know that. But we know how they play. We know how they play.
In her first solo interview as a Democratic nominee, Harris says she offers a new generation of leadership, saying people are exhausted by the hate and division of Trump. Wins News Time 11:08. She sure didn't have this in mind. That's the woman behind an early Facebook post that helped spark all those false claims of migrants eating pets is telling NBC. Erica Lee initially put up a post saying her neighbor's cat was missing and the suggestion that from the neighbor that perhaps a Haitian neighbor had attacked the animal. That started the online game of telephone that culminated in the former president's debate stage claim. And now there are real-life consequences. Reporter Terry Moran asked the former president.
The mayor of Springfield, Ohio, the police chief, the Republican governor of Ohio have all debunked this story about people eating pets. And now there are bomb threats at schools and kids being evacuated. Why do you still spread this false story?
The real threat is what's happening at our border.
President Biden also lashing out at Trump, saying the claims are wrong and it has to stop. 73 degrees, going up to 83 in Midtown. Traffic is next.
Instacart shopper thoughts. Avocado edition.
If I had a time machine, I wouldn't go back in time to ride a dinosaur or hang out with George Washington. I'd go forward 3 days from now to see this avocado perfectly ripe just in time for Jeff to make his guac. But hey, that's just me.
Download the Instacart app and we'll overthink shopping for you. Get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
You've heard us talk a lot about FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Well, we have something a little different for you. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then, with a YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime. Just visit FanDuel.com/stream to download America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Opt-in required. Wager requirements apply. Bonus awarded is non-withdrawable bonus bets or profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including bonus expiration. See terms and conditions at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get ready to ace your back-to-school meals at Hatfield. From breakfast to dinner, Hatfield's variety of marinated pork tenderloins, ham steaks, scrambled sausage, and bacon will ensure that every meal is packed. Perfect for big mornings and quick dinners on the go. Make Hatfield Pork the star of your back-to-school menus. Earn marks from your whole family. Visit simplyhatfield.com for recipes and retail locations near you. Find your flavor with Hatfield.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th at Sawyer Point Park in Cincinnati, Ohio. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/Cincinnati.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Winds News Time, 11:11. Traffic and transit now. Here's Andrew Farrow.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. We are still very backed up if you're using the inbound George Washington Bridge. At least a 35-minute delay. They did pick up the cones, but you know the deal. It takes a while for it to flush, and it hasn't flushed yet. Now, if you're traveling on the westbound side of the Cross Bronx, from the Bronx River Parkway to the Alex, that's a bumper-to-bumper deal. As you're still picking up the cones on the upper level outbound. The inbound Lincoln is terrible. Eastbound 495 is stacked all the way back to the Eastern Spur. Passing Kennedy Boulevard and Palisades Avenue and trying to get to the Helix is a tough task, and the outbound Lincoln's going to cost you at least 25 minutes. Go with the Holland, but here's the problem. If you're going to use the outbound Holland, 139 is stacked in Jersey City. Why? Well, the Pulaski Skyway is closed all weekend, so use the Newark Bay Extension, and that's starting to build up as well, heading westbound, heading towards Newark Airport. Westbound Staten Island Expressway delays are out there as well over by Victory Boulevard. Eastbound westbound Belt Parkway between Coney Island Avenue and the Verrazano is slow. If you're traveling in Queens, it's been a tough task on the eastbound westbound LIE by Woodhaven Boulevard. More delays by the long-term road work on the Grand Central Parkway eastbound right around Alley Palm Park. And the eastbound LIE is not much better passing the Clearview over by Casino Boulevard. You do have that long-term construction there as well. Northbound on the FDR heading up towards 34th Street is backed up all the way back to Houston Street. And the westbound BQE, you've been hearing it on the news reports. Stay away from that all weekend because one lane is squeezing by over by the Brooklyn Bridge. This report was sponsored by Mazda of White Plains. Looking for a new car? Check out the new Mazda White Plains in Elmsford. With great deals on over 500 vehicles in stock, they'll have one perfect for you. Located right off of Exit 4 on 287, or visit MazdaWhitePlains.com. Next report at 11:21. Andre Ferro, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Now, the AccuWeather 4-day forecast with meteorologist Bill Dager.
And that forecast, a beautiful one here for the next several days. The rest of our Saturday will feature sunshine. It will be a nice warm afternoon. If you're at the stadium for the Yankees game, temperatures in the upper 70s at first pitch, topping out near our high of 83 later on. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 66. Like we saw last night and early this morning, there could be a few hours where there's some patchy fog into early Sunday, and then later Sunday, sunny. Not quite as warm, but still nice, high 78. And one more nice Monday, then partly sunny 78. We'll see some clouds, those start to move in, dim out the sun on Tuesday, high 78, ahead of a storm that approaches from the south and brings us a good chance of rain Tuesday night into Wednesday as we head toward the middle of the week. Right now, 76. It's sunny. Relative humidity, 59%. Repeating the current temperature, 76, going up to 83 today in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Bill Dager on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
It's called the Hope in Harlem Conference. It's on right now, where they're focusing on a very important issue, children's mental health and how sports can help. This event includes the conference at the First Corinthian Baptist Church this morning with NBA stars, Olympic medalists, and more. And then this afternoon, it's a wellness fair on 116th Street with exhibitions and all kinds of resources. Winds News Time 11:14 coming up. The Yanks and Mets are back at it, and there's plenty of football.
Instacart shopper thoughts.
How do they know exactly when this milk will expire? Does a milk sommelier take a sip and just no? Am I knocking on this melon to check its freshness or because I want to play the bongos? A little of both. Does bagging groceries teach you patience? Yes. Planning? Yep. How to build a cereal box fortress? You have no idea.
Download the Instacart app and we'll overthink shopping for you.
Find your fabulous fun in Indiana. Hike through scenic trails of vibrant fall foliage. Savor fall flavors with apple picking, pinches, and tasty treats. Celebrate at festivals filled with the best traditions of the season. Your fabulous fall adventure starts at inindiana.com/fall.
Wins use time 11:15. Now 10:10 Wins Sports with Mark Renee.
Well, the Yankees come off 3 straight thrilling wins, a couple of walk-offs, and last night's comeback on Aaron Judge's go-ahead grand slam, looking to make it 4 in a row this afternoon at the stadium against the Red Sox, as the captain and company go into this one with a 3-game lead over second place Baltimore for the first time since early July.
I think we were paying attention to the standings a couple weeks ago, and I think that's when we just kept going back and forth, kind of passing the lead. But I think we all kind of talked, and in this room, we said, hey, if we just focus on us and what we got to do, we'll be where we want to be. So hopefully nobody's looking at the standings. So I'm certainly not.
Garrett Cole takes the mound for the 1 o'clock start in the third of the 4-game series. Meantime, the Mets play the second of their 3 in Philly on the heels of last night's 11-3 win. But the news not all good. Francisco Lindor had to leave in the 7th inning with a sore back.
I pride myself in trying to be available every day, and I'm going to do whatever it takes today and tomorrow to be available.
He hasn't missed a game all season. Luis Severino gets the ball at 4 o'clock down the Jersey Turnpike. And former Met Jacob DeGrom was back on the mound last night in Seattle, made his season debut for Texas almost 17 months after his second Tommy John surgery.
It was awesome. You spend that much time away from the game. You go through that whole process of building back up, and to get back on a Major League mound was very nice.
DeGrom a little disappointed. He only went 4 1/3 innings. He was hoping to go 5, but he didn't give up any runs or walks and only 4 hits with 4 strikeouts. Mark Renee, 1010 Wins Sports on 92.3 FM.
Wins use time 11:17. Well, never mind the changing of the guard. An animal rights group is calling for a changing of the hats at the Queen and the King's house.
The changing of the King's Guard at Buckingham Palace with the marching band and those bright scarlet tunics and, of course, those towering black bear fur caps is a major tourist attraction. But PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, objects to the use of real fur. The military says they're open to an alternative but haven't found a suitable one. So now PETA is focusing on the price, discovering they cost over $2,000 each plus the life of one Canadian bear. PETA says a luxury fake fur maker will supply them free for 10 years.
Correspondent Michael Toscano reporting. A recent British poll suggested some 75% of people find those real bear skins to be a waste of their money. Wins News Time 11:18.
There's 29 seconds left in the half, and Jeff needs to make a game-time decision, folks. Will he get hangry in the second half? Boo! Or get sticky wings layer dip it?